Hello. Happy Friday, everyone. It's another gorgeous day today, and I'm so excited. This weekend, we are doing the June challenge, Squad June challenge, which is walking the Yorkshire Three Peaks. So I am taking 35 lovely squaddies and their family or friends or plus ones on the Three Yorkshire Peaks challenge. And do you know what? We're doing it for the Children's Bereavement Centre in Newark, and we've nearly raised £1,500. How incredible is that? They work really closely with children who have just lost their parents or whose parents have been diagnosed with a terminal illness, and the work they do on a daily basis is just incredible. So, yeah, so admirable and more. I don't even have the words to describe properly what they do. But today we are going to be talking all about all sorts, actually. We've got a bit of everything. The questions this week have been fantastic, as always. And like I always say, the more questions, the better. And if somebody else has been, if you're thinking it, someone else would have been thinking it. So don't think that any question is ever silly. And if you have any questions in the meantime, please pop them in the chat box, gang. And also say hi if you're there. Say hello. And if you're watching it on replay, do hashtag replay. I'm just going to pop my hair back in this clip because it's rather warm, isn't it? And I love these little, I've forgotten what they're called. Clippy clips. If you know the word, let me know. But it's great. It's not actually mine, it's my mum's. I'm borrowing it. Okay, straight on with the questions. First up, so some quick ones, and then we've got some longer ones I want to elaborate on a little bit. If you have little space, is there a cheap or smaller alternative of a spin bike? So we do quite a few cycle classes, don't we? And we've got loads on demand as well. Now, if you're looking for a decent spin bike, you want a flywheel that is about 18 to 20 kilograms. And the reason I say that is because it replicates more actually cycling. You get more out of the workout and it's a smoother ride. If you have a really light flywheel, yes, the bike might be slightly cheaper, but you're going to have a really jerky experience and maybe not get as much out of it. Now, in terms of bikes with a flywheel for that price, I literally just Googled, and you're looking at bikes from £120-ish. They go up to goodness knows what, but from about that price. Second option would be to hire one. And if you need to hire one, I know a really good company that do that. And they're from about £14 a week. So if you want to just try it out and see if you liked, doing the cycle classes, that's a really good option. They're a company based in Nottingham. So I can highly recommend those. Just message me and I can send you their details. And the third option, if you haven't got much space, is a folding exercise bike. Now, I'm not entirely sure about the ride quality of a folding exercise bike, but you can still get a workout out of it. And if you're just looking for a bit of a cardio workout and you're not too worried about, ride quality, then maybe a folding exercise bike, they start at about £100. So in terms of price, I would probably go for, the one with the flywheel, the 18 kilogram more flywheel, so you can get a really good workout out of it. But there's a quick answer to that one, really. You can always use it as a clothes hanger. Don't do that. Number 2, if I'm not so achy the next day after workouts, do I need to work harder? I used to ache, but now not so much. I know that's a sign of getting stronger. But aches the next day, is that something to consider on your journey? And is it a sign to actually work harder? No, it's not actually. So the aches that you're feeling are DOMS, which is delayed onset muscle soreness. So when you do something that is a lot more intense than normal, or as in normal compared to what your body's used to, or if you do something different compared to what your body's used to, you'll find you'll ache the next day or maybe the next day after. It's that delayed muscle soreness. And essentially it is your muscles making tiny micro tears and it's repairing itself to get stronger. That is how your body gets stronger. But there becomes a point when, your strength really does improve and your body adapts to this and it basically repairs itself a lot more efficiently and the muscle soreness will go down and sometimes you don't even feel it. And actually, whether you feel muscle soreness or not isn't a sign of whether you had a good workout or not at all. You're much better off using different ways to measure your progress. So that might be in terms of your performance. So say if you're doing a stronger workout, if you do the same release for so many weeks, say by week 4 or 5, can you up your weight a little bit? There's improved workout performance. How are your energy levels? Maybe keep a little bit of a track. Have they improved? If they have, improved performance. Have a look at your body composition. You might want to take a photograph of yourself at the beginning and then you put yourself through a bit of a strength program. Maybe you do some of our stronger workouts, some Pilates, some body conditioning, upper body strength, maybe some HIIT with weights. And after a few weeks, see how you feel in yourself. Maybe have a look back at the photographs of where you started, compare with where you are now. I would use about 6 to 8 weeks to do that, definitely. And also, are you more consistent? That's a great way to measure progress. Are you consistently, say, strength training 3 times a week, whereas before you weren't? There are better ways to measure your progress rather than do I ache the next day, which isn't a very good measure at all. So you just tend to ache when you're doing something a bit different or a lot more intense than normal. Say after the Yorkshire 3 Peaks this weekend, we'll probably ache because we've worked our muscles a heck of a lot more intense than normal, and we're not used to doing such steep inclines and declines at such a great rate. So there's an example. I hope that's reassured you that, and it's great. Do you know what? See that as a sign of progress. And if you want to push yourself harder, you know that you can, but you don't necessarily have to feel that muscle ache the next day for it to be worthwhile or good or making you stronger. I hope that does make sense. Let me know if you're not sure about that. Glute and core activation. Quite often I feel like I'm not engaging my glutes or my core straight away. What is the key or secret to activating these muscles? So really, the thing you want to focus on is that mind-body muscle connection. So thinking about the muscles you want to engage before you do it, and then that mindful movement as you're doing it. So for example, if I'm about to do a squat, I'm thinking about engaging my glutes, I'm going to squeeze my glutes, I'm thinking about them, I'm going down into the squat, where can I feel it? And coming back up, I'm going to give those glutes a squeeze on the way back up, drive through the heels again, where can I feel it? And constantly thinking about your form and your technique to a point where it just becomes subconscious, and then you're activating those muscles subconsciously. So it comes out of repetition, it comes out of focusing consistently on your form and your technique and activating the muscles in terms of the glutes. Can you think about different cues that I use? So say if you're doing a squat, thinking about ripping the floor apart, thinking about driving up through your heels. So when you're doing a hip bridge as well, lying down on your back, driving up through the heels, thinking about squeezing your glutes. And another thing you could do is progressive overload. So working the glutes harder and improving your strength in that way. You might want to do body conditioning for that to really activate them, to feel them and know what it feels like to activate them. In fact, definitely do that class to feel glute activation. And in terms of activating your core, the best way to do this and to do it, all round core is to practice a lot of Pilates. But if we just try this little exercise, so do this with me now, for example. So just relax your body. Now you want to take a breath in, expanding the rib cage from the front and the back, drawing the navel in towards your spine gently. Now exhale, drawing the navel into the spine more. So we're going to breathe in, expand the ribs, so creating space up here. Exhale, drawing the navel gently into spine, blowing out through the mouth, like you're blowing out a birthday candle. Now you don't have to feel an ache in the core to activate it. But if you just place your hand on the front of your tummy, expand the ribs, draw the navel to spine, and just gently push with your hand. Can you feel some core activation there? One other way to do it is to imagine it's not quite the same, but it's similar. Someone's poking you, or someone's punched you in the stomach, or a football's gone into your stomach. Yeah, you can kind of feel it activate then. But definitely just focusing on that form again, the technique, and practicing strengthening that area to a point where it just becomes subconscious. And this is something we try and do in Pilates. So then you're subconsciously activating your core in other areas of life. Like when you go and pick up a heavy bag of shopping, for example, you are activating your core and protecting your back. Yeah, it's Really, really good question though. So thank you ever so much for them. Okay, what are your tips for dealing with muscle soreness? My legs are really feeling it. So this is back to that DOMS we were just talking about, that delayed onset muscle soreness. Nothing to be scared about. As I said, it happens when you maybe first begin an exercise program, you're doing things differently to normal. You do a class you don't normally do, or you work a lot more intensely than you normally would. Again, you don't always have to feel it to have a good workout. Now, what you want to do is you want to rest the muscles in that area. Your body is trying to recover the muscles in that area. So give it a chance, let it do that. So that's number one. So say if you're really feeling it in your legs really badly, why not do a workout that's going to release those muscles, maybe some mobility work, maybe some Pilates or yoga, maybe you go on a light walk, or you do some indoor power walking, or you do an upper body strength workout instead. So that's the first thing, or just, taking a rest day. I would say though, if you feel it in your legs, the best thing is to kind of, quote unquote, flush them out a little bit and do some mobility or do some gentle walking, because that will promote recovery. It will promote blood flow to the area and just kind of ease off any stiffness. So definitely a little bit of that. Hydration, make sure you're giving the muscles what they need to recover. Adequate protein, again, giving them what they need to recover. And sleep. Sleep is really important because that is where your muscles repair themselves. When you go into that deep restorative sleep, that is where your muscles repair themselves. So just making sure you're getting adequate sleep, preparing yourself for a good night, for a nice kip. And then another thing you could do is a massage or foam roll. And the final thing is debated, but heat or ice. Just, you could have a long soak in the bath if that feels nice. But that's just like an added one. I would definitely focus on the other ones first. So that is resting that area, gentle mobility to promote recovery, hydration, and making sure you give the muscles what they need, so protein and sleep. Then massage or foam roll. Give it a go. Let me know how you get on. This is a really good one. I might need to get on the floor for this one. It's not unheard of. I've done that before. How do I improve my upper body strength to do push-ups on my toes? I can do planks easily. When I bend my arms to push up, I struggle. Is there a specific technique or something I'm missing? I thought I would have been able to do them by now because I've been doing classes since day dot. Is it to prove strength in my toes? I can only manage them on my knees quite far back past my hips, and even then I struggle. I hope this makes sense. Okay, guys, I think we might need to get on the floor here. Can I? So, same again, last time I went on the floor, I was wearing my leggings and my work top. Yep, doing it again. Work blouse and leggings. Come on with me, everybody. And if you want to practice this, everyone get down on the floor. I'm going to just try and move everything. There's a lot of wires. Bear with. So if you're listening to this, you're just going to have to bear with. Okay, let's go on my floor. Let's put you down. Ooh. There we go. How's that? Welcome to my floor. Now, if you want to practice, you can't really, you'll see me when I get on the floor actually. The first thing you want to do is, let me just tuck my top in. That's what you need to do first. You're going to start off on your knees. I hope you can still hear me. Take the hands wider than the shoulders. You want to walk the knees further back than the hips, so we feel that activation. Now bend the elbows until your chest reaches about elbow height and push yourself up from there. You're going to feel your heart going between the hands. To get stronger, we walk the knees further back, making sure you're still taking that body weight forward. What a lot of people do is then end up going backwards. You need to make sure you're still driving your weight forwards. Drive the weight forwards. And you take knees further and further back until eventually you're up on the toes. Now, that's one way to do it. One way which I would practice is starting off in a plank position. So say you've got that far. You've walked your knees further back, they're quite far away from your hips now. What you want to do is start off in a plank. From here, focus on the lowering phase. This is where you're going to get stronger. Focus on the lowering phase. Take your time. Feel the weight there. Bend your knees, pop them down on the floor, and push yourself up. I'll show you that again. Start on the toes. Lower yourself down. Feel the strength. Keep it. Drop the knees and use your knees to help you get up. There's a really effective way of practicing the push-up. Another one, you're not going to be able to see me now, one sec. Another one would be using elevation. So if you have, if you have a bench top or a step, use that. So use the elevation, put your hands on the bench top or the step and use that to improve your strength there. But the best thing you can do is keep practicing. Make yourself do, say, 10 push-ups every day. You got to keep practicing consistently all the day, not all the day, every day, until you get there. It's going to take time, but why not make that your challenge? Why not make that your July challenge? Okay, by the end of the month, I want to do 1 push-up on my toes and work at it. But that's the best way. Other ways that you can do it, obviously, of course, check your form first. So go through those little pointers I was talking about. Some more pointers: squeezing your glutes, squeezing your thighs. That's going to help, keep your core really strong, your back strong. Other things you can do to help would be to improve strength in your chest muscles, so practicing stronger. Improving strength in your shoulders, again, get that through stronger, and your triceps, stronger, hit with weights, those kind of workouts. So you can keep practicing strength, keep practicing the push-up. That's the best way to get better at it. And don't chicken out of it. Just think, if I keep doing them on my knees all the time, eventually one day I'll be able to get up and do it on my toes. Yes and no. You've also got to break that barrier of trying it on your toes. And if you're worried about falling on your face or anything like that, put a cushion down. It's fine. We've got to practice. You can do this. Great question though. Really good question. I want everyone practicing that. Maybe we should do a push-up challenge. Something on motivation. I'm trying to pick a variety of on-demand classes. It's quite often I'm not home in time for the lives, but I'm having to consciously try not to make it too easy for myself. So, motivation. You may know what I'm going to say. Oh, Annette, you were there for the live demo. I'll try my step to elevate and make it my June challenge. Yeah, definitely. Try the step to elevate, do it there, and then do the one, where you're in the plank and then dropping the knees and pushing yourself up. Definitely focus on the down phase. So go really slowly on the way down. Okay, you got this. Right, okay, back to motivation. What I'm going to say here is don't rely on it, because it's not a thing. No one's 100% motivated all the time. Nobody in the world, unless you're a robot. It's got to come from discipline, and I think routine. I personally think if you get yourself into a really good routine, it just becomes part of what you do. And if I don't do, say, my workout, or if I go on holiday, I just feel so out of whack. It doesn't feel like me. So you just get it so ingrained in yourself. And the best way to do that is plan ahead. Plan your classes, plan what you're going to do for the week ahead. This is why I say to you guys every Sunday, plan for the week ahead. Put it in your diary, make that promise to yourself that you're going to do X, Y, Z, and then do it. Follow through with it, no matter whether you feel motivated or not to do it. Just think, this is where we kind of have to adult ourselves. Think, put on your big girl panties and get it done. Say if your child didn't want to go swimming that night, we'd say, okay. No, you'd say, no, it's an important life skill and I paid for that lesson, you go in. So do that to yourself as well. Now, one thing you can do to help yourself here though, is yes, plan ahead, absolutely do that. But also think about your goals. Where do you want to be? So I know you said you struggle to choose on-demand classes. Well, what's your main focus right now? Is your main focus to get stronger? Is it to improve your cardio fitness? Or do you just want maybe like an all-round thing? Do you want to just improve your all-round well-being? In which case, making sure, we've got a strength class, we've got a cardio class, and we've got a holistic class in there every week, and I'm going to plan those in every week. And maybe you have one day where you think, okay, I'm going to make sure those are in, and on the fourth day, I'm going to do a see how I feel one and see what one I want to do. You could always ask the workout generator as well. So if you're not sure on what you want to do, just go on there and it takes out any decision fatigue for you, or just choose one for you, depending on, how you want to feel and what you want to do. So there's a little tip. Another really important thing is to come back to your why. Like, why are you doing this? Why do you want to keep fit? And ask yourself why 3 times. Why do I want to do fitness? Because I want to live longer. Why do I want to live longer? Because I want to have a good quality life and be able to see and run around with my grandkids. Okay, why do I want to do that? Because it's important to me, because they're my values, my family are important to me, health is important to me, and it would make me so happy to be able to do that. That's just one example. But if you think about another one, so, okay, why do I want to do this? I want to work on my strength to shape my muscles. Why do I want to shape my muscles? Because I feel really conscious about wearing summer tops. Why do I feel conscious about wearing summer tops? Because I don't feel like my arms are shapely at the moment, and I want to feel good in a nice flowery vest top that's in the back of my wardrobe that I've not worn for 5 years. You've got to think about why you're really doing this, and then remember that and use that as your motivation, whatever it is. So one might be to improve your confidence in your clothes. One might be to run around with your grandkids and live a long, happy and healthy life. What's your inner motivation? And use that to drive you. That is the most effective thing you can do. And the second most effective thing you can do is stay accountable, which is why we have this incredible squad and incredible group, keeping each other accountable. I constantly am putting up, team, write your plan for Monday. What's your plan this week? That's your opportunity. And I really want more people to write on this as well. That's your opportunity to say, everyone, this is what I'm doing. And you're doing it for you, because if you put it out there, you've got to do it. But it's also very motivating for other people. Other people are going to see that. And whether they comment or not, that's a little boost to be like, oh, right, yeah, I'll do my classes. I better write them down. I haven't done it yet. And also the daily one that I do, that's you telling me I'm going to be there, Lorna. And that's really important. It is keeping you accountable. So make sure you are using those as well. Use those posts that I put up every day at 7:45 p.m. sharp. And also, final thing, challenges, which is why we do challenges as well, little in-house challenges. So the one we just did was the step to Rome. There'll be another stepping one coming soon, and there'll be one coming for July as well. So watch this space. But for now, you might want to set yourself a little challenge. Say, next week I'm going to do 3 workouts, or next week I'm going to make sure I do 4 or 5 or whatever it might be. But you got this. You got this. We got you. Make sure you keep accountable as well. I think that's really important. Write down your why. Why are you doing this? Next, cardio first or last, or does it matter? That is a great question. It depends on your focus. Are you wanting to get stronger? And that is your main focus. If it is, do your strength work first. Because if you do your cardio and you're using your energy up there, then you might feel a little bit fatigued and your form might go a little bit. You might not be able to lift as heavy, etc. But if, say, cardio is a thing that you love and that's your main focus, and you're just doing, you're not going all out on the strength, then maybe do your cardio first, or do them on different days. Whatever works for you. But it really just depends. Depends on your energy levels for the day as well. It depends on how heavy you're going to be lifting, how long the sessions are going to be. So it really, really depends. But just think about your focus first and foremost. I quite often have a mid-afternoon slump in the office around 3 or 4 where the sweet craving is the worst. Can you recommend some energizing healthy snacks? I'm quite limited on the types of nuts and fruits I can eat because of an allergy, and I always struggle to think of alternatives. I absolutely can. If you're finding you're getting this 3-4 p.m. slump every single day, sorry, that was a really big P, wasn't it? Sorry, I didn't mean to make that really loud P noise. If you find you're getting that slump every single day and you're feeling really lethargic, I would have a look at your diet before then. What are you eating for breakfast? What are you eating for lunch? How long has it been in between those meals? Are you properly hydrated? How much did you eat at those meals? So what you want to be doing ideally is, our energy levels are going to go up and down, but you don't want to hit massive highs and massive lows. You want to sort of keep it more of an even sort of keel. And that doesn't mean you have to top yourself up all the time. But what it means is you're eating the foods that are going to keep you satiated and energized for longer. So just have a look at those meals. And I would start by going to our nutrition area. So if you go on the website, go to the nutrition area, and there's some guidance on there, and also a meal plan help guide. So I don't tell you what to eat, but I do give you all the tools and education to help you make good decisions with your food. So I would have a look at that, just to have a look at those meals. In terms of snacks though, and things that keep you going, that are going to be healthy as well, Greek yogurt, not Greek style, but Greek yogurt. There's a difference. It just said Lorna's live. Thank you, I know. Greek yogurt, you could put some berries with those. Fruit toast is great. Hummus, veggies, protein bars. Some people like to have boiled eggs or cooked meats, like cooked chicken or whatever. Popcorn is great. Just make sure, with popcorn, obviously, you're not eating bags of the covered in toffee stuff. I feel like that's kind of obvious. So whole fruits, they're fantastic. And it depends on, when's dinner going to be. It's quite often what I do, about 4 o'clock, I know that I'm going to be teaching classes in the evening. I know that I'm not going to be eating my dinner for a while. I'll have a bowl of porridge, or I'll have a bowl of cereal. With cereal, just depends. Just be careful, obviously. Sugar content and the portion size. It's really, really easy to go over on portion sizes of cereal. Because I don't know if you're the same. You pour it in, it says 30 grams and you're like, what is that? It's nothing. So just be careful with your portion sizes. That's only if you're on a weight loss journey. If you're looking, to maintain your weight or whatever, or even gain weight, you don't really need to worry too much. Cottage cheese is a good one. Some people really like to have cottage cheese with fruit, whatever you want it with. And then toast or a sandwich. There's nothing wrong with that. Whoever brought out the carb police in the 2000s or the 90s when they demonized carbs is a fool, basically. You want to think about the all-round balance, and also think about what you're doing next. So like I said, if I'm going to teach a class, I'm going to make sure I've got those carbohydrates in me, I've got the energy, the fuel to do the class. And think about the slow release energy from your meals before. I hope that was useful, and I hope that's given you some ideas. Some of them you might have thought, ugh, and some others you might have thought, oh, yeah, that sounds really nice, actually. Okay, I have one more question. It was just sent in the group earlier, so if you just bear with me 1 sec, in the 6-week group, that is. By the way, next 6-week course, starting on the 19th of June. If you know anyone, any friends and family who want to join, do let them know. Let them know they're missing out and they need to join. Great, here we go. What tips have you got for having more protein in meals, or meal inspo? I'd definitely go to Nutritionaria again, for sure. Go on there and it gives you loads of ideas and how best to set out your meals. But the way I would get more protein into the diet is focusing each meal around a source of protein. So at breakfast time, that might be, say, having eggs, like poached eggs on toast, or an omelette, or scrambled eggs, and then building your breakfast around it. So then maybe with some toast, or with some tomatoes or mushrooms. It might be Greek yogurt with some berries, and maybe a little sprinkle of whatever you want on top, granola or cereal. So I'm building it around that protein source. Then getting to lunch, again, where's the protein source? What's it going to be? It could be fish, it could be chicken, it could be tofu. Then thinking about what you're going to put with it. So are you going to put maybe pasta with it? You're going to put quinoa with it? Are you going to put sweet potato? It could be something like sweet potato and cottage cheese. It could be something like a chicken salad. It could be something like a tuna sandwich, along those lines. And then when you get to dinner, very similar to lunch, thinking about that protein source. And maybe thinking about having some protein snacks throughout the day as well. It might be yogurt, it might be boiled eggs if you like eating those as a snack. It might be a protein bar, whatever it is. And sometimes you'll find protein in foods that you wouldn't really think, as in like high protein. Some breads, like some seeded, more whole grainy breads, because of the seed content in them, they're really quite high in protein. So if you had a couple of slices of toast, I've got some bread in my freezer at the moment actually, and that's like 7 grams of protein per slice. So there I've got 14 grams of protein if I have a couple of slices of toast. Abby, that's great. Brilliant. perfect. And you know what? It's all trial and error as well. It's all about finding what works for you in terms of your energy levels, your digestion, what makes you feel good. And the best thing you can do there is tracking what you have and how you feel after it. And doing, the same sort of thing. So keeping really, really similar meals and snacks for, say, 3 weeks or so, tracking it, see how you feel, and then making small adjustments. So, say, oh, I'm not really sure about my digestion after XYZ, make a small adjustment. Or, oh, do you know what? I always get cravings around about this time. Okay, well, what did you eat before it? Make a small adjustment. And also remember that you can have a bit of what you want. If you're the person who says, oh no, I'm going to go cold turkey, you just have to be very careful with the all or nothing mindset. Because sometimes what that does is, human psychology says, if someone tells you not to touch a big red button, it's all you can think about until eventually one day you just have to press that big red button. So the best thing you can do is allow yourself to enjoy your food, have a little bit of what you want, but make that main focus on really nourishing your body and giving it what it needs. So I hope that's given you some ideas, but definitely for protein, go ahead, look at the nutrition area, and we've got some recipe books on there as well. And we've got a plant version, so if you're a veggie, go ahead and have a look at that. And then we've got the, I was going to say meat eater version. Is that the right term? I don't even know. Anyway, I hope this has been really insightful and really, really useful. Thank you all ever so much for joining me. If you've got any other questions, please make sure you comment here or comment on the Thursday post that I put up, and I will see you all soon. Have a fantastic weekend. I'll see you live in class on Tuesday. Don't forget, not here on Monday because we're coming back from the Squad 3 Peaks Challenge, probably very broken and unable to walk. I'll be like a granny on Tuesday, but I'll see you there. Anyway, take care everyone. Have a great, great weekend. Bye.